Skinny Hardaway Southern T back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make it your last time. Hit that subscription button there as well. We talk this via boxing, sports, parlays, predictions every single day, not just today. Today, we're here with a boxing EP. We got Shakur Stevenson versus Williams Zepeda. It's gonna be going down this Saturday. This gonna be the Ring Magazine co-main event. Edward Belanga versus Hamza Shiraz is going to be the main event. If you haven't checked out my Edward Belanga versus Hamza Shiraz video, it's up, it's posted. Make sure you go check that out. Got some valuable information in that thing. You might wanna peruse. Right. But in this EP, we're gonna talk about Shakur Stevenson and Williams Zepeda, man. So let's go and get into it. We got Shakur Stevenson undefeated, 23-0 versus Williams Zepeda, undefeated, 33-0. Now, some people may feel like Williams Zepeda should have a loss or two. Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer didn't look so great in his last fight, right? I think Tevin Farmer used up all his juice versus Williams Zepeda, right? But Tevin Farmer arguably, you know, beat Williams Zepeda, right? Some people feel like that. Shakur Stevenson is coming off a bout versus the guy's name is missing me right now, but it was a late replacement fight for Floyd Schofield, who happened to stop Tevin Farmer, right? See how that, did a full 360, right? Score. Floyd Schofield pulled out a fight with Shakur Stevenson. Josh Padley, uh, stepped in the ring, and Shakur Stevenson ended up stopping Josh Padley, right? But Josh Padley isn't. Sound check, sound check. Shakur Stevenson ended up stopping Josh Padley, right? But Josh Padley ain't no world beater or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But Shakur Stevenson looked, like Shakur Stevenson should look in a fight versus Josh Padley, and Williams and Pater looked, you know, um, he was there, right? He competed, but some people feel like Tevin Farmer won that fight, and we saw what Tevin looked like in his last fight, right? So my thinking of it is if Tevin Farmer can do that to Williams Zepeda, then Shakur Stevenson will probably be able to stop Williams Zepeda, right? Huh? I do got Shakur Stevenson winning this fight, man. I don't know if he's gonna stop Williams Zepeda, right? I was kind of, joking with that, right? Or was I? You know what I mean? But if Tevin Farmer can't get off on you, like that, Shakur Stevenson isn't going to gas. He's not going to get tired down the stretch of this fight, right? Unless you just put a hurting on him that he can't, that he can't make it. But you didn't put a hurting like that on Tevin Farmer. Like you did hit Tevin Farmer, right? But I think it's going to be a lot harder for you to hit Shakur Stevenson, even harder than it was for you to hit Tevin Farmer, right? So there is kind of a scenario where I can see Shakur Stevenson, if let's say Williams Zepeda can't land on Shakur Stevenson like he needs to, or can't land as cleanly as he needs to, and Shakur Stevenson realizes that, oh, I can neutralize his power, and he opens up his offense. Shakur Stevenson could stop, Williams Zepeda, but I'm thinking Shakur Stevenson being the tactician that he is, being the scientist that he isn't going to even put, the fight in jeopardy. He's not going to put himself in jeopardy. He's not going to risk getting caught by Williams Zepeda, you know what I mean, and force the issue. But I do think Shakur Stevenson is going to be a little too sharp, a little too fast, a little too slick, and a little too quick. You know what I mean for Williams Zepeda in this fight. I don't think that it's going to be an easy fight for Shakur Stevenson, but I think Shakur Stevenson is going to make this fight look like an easy fight for Shakur Stevenson, right? So I got Shakur Stevenson in this fight. My first mind is telling me points decision, right? But something in the back of my mind feels like, Zepeda may walk into something. Shakur Stevenson's money line isn't worth a whole lot. It's minus 12,000. That's crazy that he's fighting Williams Zepeda and he's minus 1,200. My bad. I'm sorry, not 12,000. He's minus 1,200, and he's fighting William Zepeda. So that forces you to take, his point decision is minus 220, right? Not worth a whole lot. His knockout is plus 250. Of course, the value is with the knockout, but I'm gonna go Shakur Stevenson points decision over Williams Zepeda, right? It's more of a parlay piece at minus 220. Maybe you hedge a little bit, you know what I mean, with that KO. But Shakur Stevenson should be able to win this fight. I think I think Shakur Stevenson, I think he's just the better all around boxer. Like he's a similar boxer to Tevin Farmer, right? Except he's younger, right? And I'm not even just gonna go into he's faster. He may be a little faster, right? Tevin Farmer is pretty quick, but in his prime, though, being Shakur Stevenson versus Williams Zepeda, who's not that old, right? But I just saw what a Tevin Farmer not in his prime did to Williams and Peters. So I'm thinking Shakur Stevenson is going to be able to do some of the same things, but to an even higher level, right? Because he is in his prime. Both these guys are about the same size. Shakur Stevenson is 5'8" with a 68.5-inch arm reach. Williams Zepeda is 5'9" with a 69.5-inch arm reach. So Williams Zepeda has 1 inch of arm reach on Shakur Stevenson. So it's not, a massive, he's not massively outsized by Williams Zepeda on fight night. Shakur Stevenson may or may not even be the heavier guy. You know what I mean? We've seen Shakur Stevenson come into some of these fights looking massive, right? So Shakur Stevenson may end up being even bigger than Williams Zepeda, actual fight night, right? Naturally bigger guy. I think the naturally bigger guy may be Shakur Stevenson as far as, weight wise, what they walk around, maybe outside of, fight day type deal. But somebody must go. Sound check. Yeah, somebody's must go. And I'm thinking that Williams will pay the is going to go versus Shakur Stevenson. I got Shakur Stevenson on the points. And I'm always the guy who love a good Shakur Stevenson knockout because there's always plus money, right? But I do see a scenario where I see Shakur Stevenson being able to outbox Williams Zepeda, and Williams Zepeda isn't the most defensively sound guy, right? So his offense, in a sense, is his defense, right? So if he's getting, let's just say he's getting picked apart, right? What is the plan B for Williams Zepeda? He's going to box Shakur Stevenson. He's still going to get picked apart, right? Hit Williams Zepeda's plan is going to be to overwhelm Shakur Stevenson, but I think Williams Zepeda is a good boxer. I don't think he's the level of Shakur Stevenson, but I think Williams Zepeda may believe that. So if Williams Zepeda think he's going to, do a tactical brawling approach, right? I'm going to jab you to get on the inside and throw body shots. I think he can get caught up losing rounds like that. And before he knows it, Shakur Stevenson going to be up 7 rounds to none, right? And if he just come out wild and pressure Shakur Stevenson heavy, Shakur Stevenson just go, move around the ring, laying his shots, when he need to for the first, couple rounds, make it it's gonna be a bit of an interesting fight, a cat and the mouse game. And after Williams Peters slow down a little bit, I think Shakur Stevenson then start to settle in, sit on the gas a little bit, put a little more behind the shots, in the later portion of the fight. There's also a scenario where Williams Zepeda can't do anything with Shakur Stevenson because, a older Tevin Farmer isn't even extremely old in age, but he's been through so many wars, right? He was able to give Williams Zepeda a run for his money as well. So I think if Tevin can do it, then Shakur can do it. Similar kind of fighter, defensive fighter, right? With uh more offense than Tevin Farmer, right? They both are defensive minded fighters, Tevin and Shakur, but Shakur has, more offense in his bag. But I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer, man. So I got Shakur Stevenson points decision, and that's how we rocking with it, man. But skin the heart away, Southern T. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And Look, make sure you subscribe, tell a